everybody, welcome to Rodder Studios. Got a handful of requests to show you guys how I amplify the sound off of a camera when I'm doing video production work, or actually this will work for any audio source. I will sometimes use the microphone off the camera, but if I want a more professional feel, it's going to be my Tascam portable unit DR40. I sync it up in post-production. Today I'm just going to show you how I boost the signal using my gx85 Panasonic camera. Thank you for watching the video and subscribing, and please subscribe if you have not already. Most of these tips and tricks will work for your video editing software of choice. I'm using Final Cut Pro for video production. I've got some video footage of one of my recording clients. I just click anywhere on the clip and I'm gonna drag it into the timeline for editing. For best results, you want to listen to these tutorials with earbuds or headphones. That way you can get a better sound.
I'm not asking for your heart or your hand.
Now this is the camera audio coming right off the gx85. Now these are presets. Now if you click play when you're on this, you'll hear what it sounds like. Gives you a little sample. This sounds like a car radio.
I'm not searching for some
Cathedral, little echo.
a while.
Cartoon animals. What I like to do is select levels. They're all categorized by what they are. EQ, echo for the reverb, spaces, more reverbs in small rooms. The compressor, what it does exactly what it says. It compresses the sound. It helps to even out the sound. I will drag this plugin onto this whole clip, and you'll see the audio waves here. You'll see these audio waves, the size of the sound, they will raise up a little bit. You can also just raise this up by clicking this, and you see the 0 dB, just drag it up. Yeah. Drag it up. See, now it's 12 dB. The wave mountains, that represents how loud it is. That's a really simple way to just raise the audio.
I not know what to do with your soul.
Now you see these meters over here. You don't want it to peak above 0 dB. Once in a while, if it jumps above the 0 dB, that's okay. But you don't want it to dance there a lot because that'll result in distortion.
And I not know what to do with your soul.
So I'm gonna lower it back to 0. I like to rely on the plugins. I'm gonna take the compressor and I'm gonna drag it onto the timeline. They raised a little bit.
And I not know what to do with your
See, now it's
soul.
dancing around -6 to about -3.
But to wake up.
The compressor will compress and smooth things out a bit. Now, if you click on that and you go up here to audio, you will see all the effects you've added. Here's compressor. You can click this for parameters and you can tweak it if you want. It's best to just use the defaults and tweak them to your taste. As I've said, there's no right or wrong in video and audio production. There's rules, but you can break them. So I want to raise it just a little more. So there's another tool that I use, and I'll put the link below. You may have heard of BBE Sound. I started using this in my guitar amps when I was playing clubs and everything, and when I was in bands. There's rack mount units and everything, but now BBE Sound is phenomenal. It's a frequency enhancer. It actually evens out the frequencies, which results in louder and clearer sounds. So I'll take this and I'll drag it onto here. So now I'm going to have a compressed, tighter sound with a little bit of volume. You can change the output here in the effect, or you can just click the dB here. I like to use the output on here because not only are you increasing the output of the audio, but you're also adding more of the processed output, which is going to make it sound more full and rich. So here it is with the 2 presets that I've added.
And I not know what to do with your soul.
Now, to give you an idea of the BBE, let's just jack the bass all the way up to 9 from 4.5.
And I not know what to do with your soul.
But the process, you'll see, put that to 9.
Your hand, and I not know what to do with your soul. Your heart or your hand, and I not know what to do with your.
See how the process clears it up?
I not know what to do with your soul. But
it takes out some of the background noise, compression threshold.
Your heart or your hand, and I not know what to do with your soul.
When he stops singing, there's less room noise when the compression threshold is set higher.
Your hand, and I not know what to do with your soul. Your heart or your hand, and I not know what to do. Your heart.
See how noisy that is? So I'm actually going to bring that up to 0 for the compression. These are just settings you guys can tweak with.
Your heart or your hand, and I not know what to do with your soul.
See how bad it sounds when you peak? I just wanted to show you guys. And look at the audio level. It's not nice mountain peaks and valleys anymore. It's just blasted, and it's just peaked. It's just blown out. Because I raised the gain on the compressor. Look at this. I made it 39. Way too high. You don't want to crank it like I did up to here. It's 33. That means it's going to be 33 dB. You never want it to go above 0, but I always do -2 to be safe. Now watch. You'll see the lights dance around -2 up here, right about here.
And I not know what to do with your soul.
See, when he says soul, it dances here. It does peak above 0 once in a while, but for the most part it stays around 0. Well, that's why I had it at -6. So it dances around -6 and it peaks to 0 at the most. That's as loud as I want to get it. That's where the limiter comes in. A limiter will limit it. It will actually limit the volume to be no more than what you set it. So let's look at the limiter. If you set this to 0, it will not go higher than 0. If you set it to -2, it will not go higher than -2, even if you blast it. Let's check it out.
Your hand, and I not know what to do with your soul.
0. Now let's crank the output level. Oh, it's already cranked. Let's crank it a little more. It won't go higher. It will not go higher than 0 because that's what you set it at.
And I not know what to do with your soul.
See? Now, if we go back to the other preset, output, let's crank it.
Your heart or your hand, and I not know what to do with.
Remember before when we cranked it, it shot up into the red? Well, it's not going to do that anymore because we've got a limiter on this audio locking it down to be -2. That's one of the secrets of really good audio production. Anybody can just raise the volume on their production, but if someone yells, then it's going to go way over into the red. So that's why you want to put, if you have a limiter plugin, you want to put a limiter on that audio to limit it. So basically, no matter how loud the noise is, you want it to limit to -2 or 0. Or mess around. Maybe you want -4, maybe you want +1. In the rule of audio, again, there's no rules. Whatever sounds good is good. But you do want to stay at 0 dB. Anything above that can peak and cause distortion. I like to stay, when I'm recording albums and doing YouTube work, I like to max it out at -2, but the limiter is going to limit it. It's going to create a ceiling. Use your ears, put headphones on, experiment. You wouldn't want to set this limiter really low to be like negative 17, because then
and I not know what to do with your soul.
you see it's peaking at it's hovering around negative 14, and it's staying around negative 17. It's too quiet.
Harder your hand, and I not.
You could boost this by dragging it up, but I like to keep things basically, keep the source at keep the source at 0 dB and just boost with your plugin. And if you have a limiter, set your limiter to be -2. Okay? That's how I boost my audio for video production work. Now, of course, the better audio source you have, the better this is going to turn out, such as if you're using an external recorder by Zoom or Tascam or whatever you like, it will sound better. In the case of this Panasonic GX85, it does a really great job for interviewing and doing vlogs. If I was going to do something on a more pro series, I would definitely put the Tascam DR40 mounted on a tripod right underneath the camera lens, or on the hot shoe of the camera facing both of us, so I get really nice audio. And I'll show you how to add audio and sync it up to video next week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.